Welcome back to class number 7 of Addictions. I will give you what I promised. What do I know about addictions? Why am I interested in this? Why do I sound like maybe a know-it-all? I'm not a know-it-all, but I understand it. I was married to 2 alcoholics. And this is not my claim to bash them. I'm not saying any names, of course. I had to figure out why I married 2 alcoholics. Why I did. It's not about them. It's about me. So I started going to Al-Anon meetings. And again, I'm not sitting here proclaiming this is the way anybody becomes sober or the way they deal with their addictions. You got to find your own way. I found many ways. I've been to therapists. I've been to groups. I did that crazy landmark forum. I did all kinds of stuff to figure out what was going on with me, what's going on with my emotions. And that's really it. You heard me talk about this all the way through, and it is this. What got me to want to be with somebody who is an alcoholic? What wanted me to be in a completely chaotic relationship? What gave me to marry somebody I didn't even like? What's that about? Is that humbling? You bet it's humbling. Whew. This isn't easy to do. But I'm revealing this because I think it's important. When you laugh at yourself, you heal yourself, and you got to hit those emotions head on. So what is it about? There's all kinds of things about codependency. You've heard about that. Basically, I would do and say anything to get people to like me because I was so desperate to get people to like me and even love me. That's the truth. That's what I realized. I would tell anybody anything. I would make stuff up. I would lie. Even though I didn't even believe it, I would tell them that because I wanted them to like me or to love me or to accept me. And consequently, I wasn't being myself. Now, how can I be mad at them about something? Of course I can't. I wasn't on the level. I wasn't straight with them. I didn't even know what I was doing at the time. I wasn't a very faithful man either. I didn't know how to deal with my sadness. I didn't know how to deal with my anger. I did a lot of things I'm not proud of. But as a guy taught me when I went through this whole process, he taught me this. David, when you got up in the morning, were you thinking how you were going to mess up other people's lives? Did you wake up in the morning and think, I'm going to go use somebody to get what I want to do it? Did you think about that? Was that consciously in the forefront of your mind? Was that your intention? You always hear me talk about intentions in these classes. Intentions. What's your intention of talking to somebody? What's your intention of doing something? Why are you doing it? So you know so you know why you're going to be with that person. Now, what this gent taught me was intentions are everything. And that made me think, what am I doing? What am I doing with this person? Why do I want to be with this person? So you can be honest with somebody. You can tell them this is what I want. And they can either say yes or no, but at least you're honest with them. If they don't like it, they don't like it. They can walk away to do that. So what I did was I found chaotic relationships to distract from my loneliness, to distract from my feelings of insecurity. And here I am, a comedian on stage making all these people laugh. Isn't that something? You know what I was most afraid of my whole life? People laughing at me. You heard that earlier in the adult addictions. Yeah. So I got people to laugh with me instead of at me. How about that? How about the day that I realized that? That was something. So I'm at a point now that I don't have to lie to myself or lie to other people to get them to like me. Just be who I am. It takes a long time to do that. You know, some Swami, I heard this from a woman, and she said some Swami made it up. I have no idea who it was. I have no idea who it is. But I think it's brilliant. Here it is. We're all born fine. For the next 22 years, we are defined. It is our sole obligation after that, soul and also S-O-U-L, sole obligation to ourselves to refine ourselves. See, for the first 18, 22 years, there's all kinds of theories about that you're defined by other people. People tell you this, tell you that, you listen to them, you believe it. And then you get to a certain age where your brain is mature enough and you think, wait a minute, I can understand and deal with this on my own. And that's what happens when you go, why am I doing this? Why am I marrying these chaotic people? Why am I even marrying people I don't even like? What's that about? Have to admit that. It's a very sobering thing, if you will. You know, one of the most chaotic things that people do is you talk about addictions. Addictions get addicted to other people. I just finished a book on love. Do you know the same, when somebody says I'm in love with somebody and I'm so madly in love and I'm head over heels, you know those same behaviors you go through are the same behaviors you go through with addiction. Needy, wanting, I got to have it. If you don't get it, you want to go someplace else or you go nuts. So that's why I know about addictions. And when you do that, when you know that the addiction again is a distraction from the feeling. There's many theories that AA, alcoholism, all this stuff is a disease. Personally, I don't think it's a disease. What I think is a lack of responsibility. That's what I think. So if you call someone a disease, well, I've had this disease and I can't help it, and you're not responsible. You have to be responsible. There's many theories on this, and I know I can rub you the wrong way. You may not like this. You don't have to like it. It's just my take on it. Because I didn't have a disease. I didn't have a behavioral disease. It wasn't the ism of alcoholism and all this stuff. I wasn't dealing with my feelings. I wasn't dealing with what was really going on inside of me. I wasn't dealing with, why do I tell this person things about them, get them to like me when I don't even like them? You know, there's that whole thing about codependency. You know, you're codependent. That's when I knew I wasn't codependent anymore. I bought a bicycle built for two and I rode it by myself. How's that? That's a good joke, isn't it? It's a great joke. Also, I make jokes on stage. I go, you know, I'm going through codependency. What a great idea to stand in front of a room full of people and try to get them to like me. And then I start laughing. People that understand that and about that codependency, and mainly codependency is doing anything to get that person to like you just so you won't be alone. I'm not afraid to be alone. I'm not afraid to be alone at all. And I talked about this in the beginning class, and I promised I would talk to you about it now. An addiction, if you will, is a spiritual disconnection. A spiritual disconnection to a higher power. I choose to call that higher power God. That's my take on it. When I have a take of a higher power, which makes me pull away from myself, and which makes me go, wait a minute, there's something better out there. There's something greater that I can do for myself, for the betterment of the world, the betterment of mankind. I can do that. And when I go to a higher power, something greater than me, I get out of myself. And you go to any of these rooms or any people that are addicted to anything or use hoarding or shopping or sex or gambling or anything you do as a distraction from your emotion, there's a spiritual disconnect of what am I doing? Am I serving humanity? And that's what I found. That's what I have found in this whole process of what can I do to serve humanity? What can I do that's good and beneficial to the world? That is exactly why I'm doing these You Just Have to Laugh Naster classes, is because I've learned so much talking to people and also what I've been through, but other people that have been through all kinds of stuff, which you've seen in these classes. And I've decided, you know what? I'm going to give it away. Because you ever heard that expression, you can't keep it if you don't give it away? You know, there's all kinds of sayings you hear when you go through this stuff. People have some doozy, but that's it. If you help other people, you remember the episode about Leon? The guy that accidentally ran over his 2-year-old daughter and killed her. And the only way he got at it and healed himself to make sense of it all is to go help and serve other people. So I'm hoping by doing these classes and me revealing what I did and telling you about what I did and what I've been through, is maybe it'll stimulate something in you or other people that says, hey, you know what? I want to get to what's bugging me. Something's not right in my life. I want to get to it. What am I drinking all this stuff? I know people that drink a lot. They're not alcoholics. They're just fun. They drink, they have fun, and then they go to work and do it. But when you use something to distract from an emotion, whether it's alcohol, sex, gambling, hoarding, chaotic people, boy, that's a big one there, chaotic people. Dealing with chaotic people so you don't have to deal with yourself. A lot of people like to go with chaotic relationships and do that so they don't have to deal with themselves. That's no different than alcohol. Only you die miserably. You live a miserable life. That doesn't kill you, just have a miserable life. I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I'm done with trying to please other people. I'm kind to other people. I like to help other people. It's great to be with other people that I like, that I share the same values and the like-mindedness we hear you talk about. I spend a lot of time by myself reading, writing, not doing arithmetic, but other things like that. But I don't feel alone. I never feel alone because I have a higher power and I have great friends, absolutely friends. It's my family, great. great friends, great people. So, if you recall this whole series, isolation, loneliness, fear. That's what these people go through in the addiction. I went through that. I was afraid of being alone. I got in chaotic relationships. So, had adjustment. So to summarize here, an addiction is a distraction for an emotion you either not dealing with, you don't know what it is, but you got to go in there and find it. You got to understand it. You have to make it a friend, not an enemy. When you understand that emotion when it comes back, when you understand something that's bothering you, oh, I'm feeling alone, or I'm feeling it. When you understand that, you go, I know you. You're my friend. I'm not running away from that emotion. I'm not running away from the fear. I'm embracing it, if you will. I understand it. I accept it. And like Dr. Jean Moretta said when we talked about the PTSD, you work right through it. I hope this helps. I sincerely hope it helps. I got to tell you, I've heard some very funny lines in all this, in the places I've been and talking to people. One of the great ones, so you always hear this one, let go and let God. Turn it over to God. And one time I went to an open AA meeting. I'm not an alcoholic. I have no problem with that. Or I don't use alcohol as a distraction. But I went to an open AA meeting one time, which you can go to just as I want to understand what's going on. And this guy said the funniest thing. He said, I got all these drunk driving tickets and I turned them over to God. Then God turned them over to the sheriff. The whole room busted out laughing, and he busted out laughing. Why? Because when you laugh at yourself, fill in the blank, you heal yourself. Thanks for letting me share this. I'm amazed I didn't get verklempt. I didn't start crying. I get emotional about this. This is strong. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hope it helps. Think funny. Embrace those emotions. Get to it. If you find yourself distracted using something, just be aware of it. Awareness is the key. You can't change what you do not acknowledge. It's very important. You cannot change what you do not acknowledge. You want to change it, change it. You have the ability to do it. You have the ability to change yourself if you want to. There's plenty of supports. You can talk to people, be around like-minded people. You can do it, as they say, and I'm going to ask you to please think funny, stay amused. Check out the other classes we have here, and you just have to laugh. Naster classes. There's a lot of great stuff. And do something else too, please, and that is share them with as many people as you can, because, as I say so much, and it's true, when we laugh at ourselves, we heal ourselves, and you just have to laugh. We're a community. See, getting verklempt because it means something to me. We want to heal the world one laugh at a time. We want to heal our emotional wounds by sharing humor, our story, and connecting with each other soulfully. Stay amused. See you at one of the other classes.